harassed me. I had 5 small children at the time in my home, and they would show up at my home at 2 o'clock in the morning, banging on my door and telling me that they were just checking to see if I was okay because there was a threat on my life. And that wasn't out of the ordinary. I mean, I had a guy come to the legislature and threaten to kill me there. But anyway, they would come to my door in the middle of the night, bang on my door, wake up my kids and my wife. And I had a friend at the detachment center, and I asked him, I said, are these threats real, or am I getting these threats? Because I said they keep coming, banging on my door. He said, I'll let you know. He checked it out, and he said, we have had no threats come through our office. None.
They were just doing it to harass you and wake you up at night.
Yeah, it was just an intimidation tactic. And then they set up about a mile from my place and they had a surveillance point, and they would watch me day and night. And I had one of the tools of the scouting business. I had a high-powered spotting scope I could set up in my home, and they would just sit there and watch my actions all day. But recently, I mean, Albertans have got very short memories, and that's one of the problems. If they get a crumb, they're happy.
Yeah.
Well, it's time they decide that they don't want the crumbs, they want the whole damn pie. But High River nobody should forget High River when that flood hit.
Explain High River to our U.S. listeners that don't know the situation. Explain it to our U.S. listeners.
High River is a little town south of Calgary, about 30 miles out of Calgary, which is the major city in southern Alberta. And they had a major flood there, and it flooded into homes, and they had a huge evacuation. And I don't know what year was it, probably 8 years ago.
About that, yeah.
Something like that.
Yep.
And anyway, they came into the homes of the people who were evacuated, and the RCMP literally just took their guns. They didn't have warrants. They didn't have any kind of paperwork to authorize the seizure of their guns. And then after that, it was up to the RCMP to determine who got their guns back and who didn't. So, that's what we're looking at. It's kind of like some of the stuff that's going on in the United States with the FBI now. They show up, they don't have warrants, they arrest people, they disappear for a couple of days. And, Mar-a-Lago, they didn't have any of the proper papers to see some of the materials that they took away from the Mar-a-Lago. So Alberta's RCMP are about the same category as these rogue FBI guys are in the United States. They just overstep their bounds, and they take all of the authority into their own hands. And the problem with the RCMP, their instructions all come from central Canada. They come from Ottawa. They basically have become the Prime Minister's hired thugs, is what they've become. And Albertans need a police force that's closer to the people, so that they have more, they have more control over them. But they certainly should be under a provincial government, and the RCMP should be sent packing in a provincial police force. Ontario has a provincial police force. They have their own provincial police force. Why can't Alberta have a provincial police force? And I think that needs to happen immediately. I think Danielle Smith should announce that she's going to put together an Alberta-only police force for the people of Alberta. At least that way, if the RCMP, or if the RCMP are allowed to stay and they still have a provincial police force, the provincial police force can end up as a mediator and take control of the case.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, with High River, we get a listener now.